Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. So wonderful to be here tonight. Thank you so much for joining. I do have a treat for you tonight. We're going to talk about some very important issues and aspects of international dating. We are mostly talking about Russian, Ukrainian ladies and Western men on this channel, but we talk about universal topics as well. And you are always welcome here, no matter what country, religion, beliefs you have. We always find something positive and uplifting in the days of gender war. I think that there is no reason why people should have limits, and why people should be driven by the fears. And today, my dear friends, we are going to address 5 main fears of American men regarding marrying ladies from Russia, Ukraine, or any other country in Eastern Europe. So, being in this area on YouTube, when we talk about relationships and mentalities, sometimes I cannot help it but check out other people who making content. There is this thing called manosphere. There is, red pill, MGTOW, MGTOW, and all the other things, and people, talking about it's worth it or it's not worth it. This video is for those men who are maybe on the fence. They are thinking between changing their life, enriching their life, with bringing a feminine woman into their life, most likely from Ukraine, but it could even be somebody you know across the street. I feel that there is so much fear right now, and so much programming comes from a lot of channels that will tell you, oh, this will happen to you, that will happen to you. Basically, it's a major fear and anxiety comes from men that kind of trying to warn other men of not doing something, even though very often they do not have experience of doing it. Somebody commented on my channel recently about, or do not go to Ukraine and bring somebody you don't know. Obviously, that person have never been there, because by their content, I could tell that they are not talking from experience. I mean, content of their message. So let's get right into it. Let's debunk the myths of fear. And I do understand that international travel is not for everybody. International dating is not for everybody also. So as settling down and having children, so as learning about these things. So this video is for those people who appreciate and want to learn, and really deep down want to have a better, more fulfilling life, but kind of fearful and doubtful because of all this endless information that definitely comes out right now from everywhere. And I watched a few videos, and I can tell you, it is hurtful to watch things that are generalizing and will put either of genders down. I do not enjoy channels that put women down. I do not enjoy channels that put men down. It is a huge generalization, and as long as you find somebody who is with you on the same page, you should be all right. So let's talk about this. Number one myth about Russian Ukrainian women coming to US is that she's coming here to get a green card. She doesn't want you, she doesn't need you, all she wants is a green card. Well, first of all, people who spread that myth probably do not have a very good source of information. because it's not like you come out of the plane, you land in US, and there is an officer handing you the green card. Here you go. You got your green card, and congratulations. You are here. You're permanent resident. Um, Good luck, enjoy your freedom. No, I have to tell you, the process is completely different. It's a lengthy process. It may take up to uh, between it takes about 7-8 months while you're here, anywhere from 6 to 8 months maybe, to get your adjustment of status application and get processed and get your invitation to the immigration office, which is will interview you, um, and you will get a 2 year conditional green card. Conditional. So at first, it takes you between 2 or 3 years to just get the conditional green card. Excuse me. It takes you about 6 to 7 months to get an appointment, and then your conditional green card is going to be for about 2 years. I apologize, guys. I got carried away. So, why do you have a conditional 2 year green card? Because you have a condition. You are getting observed. If things do not work out, it is conditional for a reason. If things do not work out, if the marriage will be proven to be fake, generally you go back home. And it's almost like a 2 year of a trial, 2 year of trial of your life together. It's 2 years where you build your relationships, when you build a family, and then in 2 years you need to remove the condition from your green card. You need to come, and they will look at your household, whether your accounts are together, your proofs of your life together. Most of all, they're gonna look at two of you and see, they have experiences. They can tell. They can see you're really connecting together. They doing this for a living. They know BS when they see it. Of course, if you have a child, it makes it a little easier. It's definitely another major proof. But anyway, long story short, you have to be an extremely desperate woman to fly to another country when you have no support, no connections, no friends. Your education do not mean very much for the usually, and come here in hopes to get the green card. So even to get done with a conditional green card, it takes 2+ years, because it takes a while to get your documents processed, your visa adjusted, and all of that. I'm not gonna go into the details, guys. I'm not a paralegal, but I'm talking from my own experience. So, and then 2 years of conditional, and then all of what I just mentioned, you have to have all these proofs, all these things. So most women that I know, people that in my circle, I personally do not know a single person from everybody, in Russian communities here, who ever thought that they want to come to US because they want to get a green card. Even if green card would be given at the gate, you have to figure out, where you're gonna live, how you're gonna eat, how you're gonna support yourself. Because in the very beginning, when you just come here, you do not have any connections, and your husband, even though he signs a paper for you that he's supposed to support you, he has 90 days when he can easily send you back without an issue at all. Also, he has 2 years, while the green card is conditional. He has 2 years to report that marriage not working out. So it's such a tremendous risk for a woman to leave her family. And Ukrainian families, family ties are very strong. Usually, even grown children, especially girls, staying close to their mothers. They keep very tight connections with their moms, especially. And of course, if dad is there, if he is alive, dad is in the picture as well. To live, and another thing, in Ukraine, when parents get older, the children supposed to take care of them. So it's almost, it may sound funny or kind of strange to you, but it's almost a betrayal to live because of your husband. I know what I'm talking about too. It's a very difficult thing for a parent, especially if you're the only child, or you are the only child that left in town and you are uh, getting married to another country over the ocean. That is a tremendous emotional, it takes a toll on you emotionally, because you realize that if your parents are not getting any younger, and you have to have a plan about them. Once again, in Russian and Ukrainian culture, you do not bring your parents to nursing homes. We don't really have that developed that well, but even if we would, that's considered not normal. Usually your parents raise you when you are a baby, they having their sleepless nights and all of that. But when you grow up, and they take care of you when you're a baby, but then when you grow up, they kind of becoming your baby. Basically, when they becoming helpless, you take care of them. So, my dear friends, that is another major thing, and I can relate to that greatly, because um, it is a major life-changing move. Leaving everything you knew, uh, your friends, your family, especially your older parents. Maybe you have nephews, brothers, sisters, but of course friends, and knowing that you don't know what is going to happen exactly. You may not always know, or it's definitely a risk. And then, if most of Ukrainian ladies have careers or profession or a occupation or job, knowing that most likely that will not count in US, and your social status, you can go, from a doctor, or from a teacher, or from a lawyer, or working in corporation. You may be just working as a grocery store, or not working at all. And some women need to be working, because this is part, they grew up like this. They uh, just want to be busy. Some people get very depressed, and the point of this is that when you move in the country, you often lose your identity, because you were recognized for certain achievements, or you were enjoying, you had something you were doing, something you were creating. It may not have been a lot, especially by American standards, but it's not all about actual dollar. It's about your satisfaction from life, that you feel that you have skills, you're making a difference, you helping, you serving your community, and you are recognized. You have that social, you have identity in your society. This is one of the major problems when you move, is to find your identity once again. So doing all this, leaving everything and everybody you knew, everything you were comfortable with, just for a green card, without any guarantees, without having a bank account, having your circle of friends here in the US, knowing anybody, maybe not even speaking English that well, that is silly and desperate. Personally, once again, I have not met a single person that had these things in mind when they were living. It's usually a very sensitive topic, it's a very bold decision, and not everybody is cut out for it. So when people tell you, oh, she's gonna just come and get your green card, please know that these people have no clue about what they're talking about. They do not understand the process. Once again, they do not understand the process. It actually takes years to get a permanent green card. And during these years, if you are not doing well together, if you're not a good match, you can actually send your lady home if she is if she wasn't genuine, if you came to know that you are not a good match. You don't have to have a fight, you just have a conversation and you tell her the truth. If you think you made a wrong choice, you have quite a bit of time, preferably the first 90 days, but you do have quite a bit of time to figure it out. Most women do not come here for a green card because they understand that it would be a lot of easier if somebody is scamming you. It's a lot of easier to ask you for money or any kind of assistance while you're there comfortable in your home or under your own roof, with your familiar environment, getting some extra money and using them in Ukraine. If the lady would be a scammer over coming in unknown when you are the only person she knows and she can refer to, and going through hell, living with a man you don't love, don't want for years. You have to be desperate and next to insane. It does happen, but in my own statistics, I don't think it's more than 5% of people. Personally, being here over a decade, I had never met a single person that had that in mind. So, I've heard from people, but stories, yes, but in reality, no. And now this last thing on the green card, my dear friends, you also responsible of being discerning, of looking at the situation and feeling where you stand. If the woman is not clearly, if you don't feel warmth from her, if you do not feel her affection, if you do not connect with her in the beginning, don't make a mistake and think it will get better, because it won't. So that is also important, to have your own mind, and when you know something is wrong, paying attention, okay? Because a lot of times things are wrong, but you keep pushing for it. So you have to be aware, you have to realize that relationships are not supposed to be one-sided, and connection and chemistry means two. It doesn't mean one person feeling certain way. It means two people feeling certain way about each other. So I have as a 900 videos talking about connection. So please watch my channel if you are new. The second point in this discussion is fears that Ukrainian or Russian woman will become a feminist. She'll learn from American women, and she will become a feminist, and she'll treat you some kind of way. She will treat you with disrespect. She will stop all her feminine traits, and she will stop taking care of you, in a nurturing way. She'll will never want to spoil you, like making your meals, or she will just become masculine. Well, there's going to be a short point. No, she won't. She won't. We did not grow up in a culture of making fun of men. Men are always an authority for us, and it's not. It doesn't make any sense to step all over somebody who is an authority to you, somebody who is a provider, somebody who takes care of you, somebody who's always giving you the best piece, always protecting you, somebody who is who got your back, who is standing strong. We admire, or how to say this, we truly deeply appreciate masculinity. It's not a toxic, okay, it's not a toxic word for us. We absolutely celebrate masculinity, and there is no amount of being around feministic cultures that can turn us to feminists. We're just not wired this way. We love to be able to look up to a man. We have a problem when we have to take care of a man, or we know we need to baby a man. Then we have a deep problem with that, because then we can't look at you as an authority. We're looking at you as a liability. As a child or a little brother, and then that will screw up all the dynamics. Wow, this rocking chair, I keep sliding from it. Anyway, it will screw up all the dynamics, and 99.9% Ukrainian women have no interest in having a little brother or a son over a husband. So don't worry about it. It's not going to happen. The chance of it happening is extremely low. Number 3, some or many American men are worrying that, they're marrying this gorgeous woman, and then, 5 years later, she will turn into a monster. Meaning not a monster, but she will stop taking care of her. She'll stop being attractive. She won't take care of her appearance. She will stop dressing feminine. She will maybe gain a lot of weight, get out of shape, blah 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 blah. Overall, Slavic women tend to love taking care of themselves. A lot of feminist women, to my opinion, presume that if you do your nails, if you do your hair, if you do your eyelashes, if you're always wearing a dress, you're trying to hunt for a man. But you would be surprised how many Russian, Slavic, Ukrainian women have a high standard every single day, even if they are at home with a child, even if they have been married, even if they have several children. They are not okay with themselves when they are not having their beauty routines, and when they don't have their beauty maintenance and their outfits. I have to say, you do need to consider having a budget for it, because you may have been supporting your Ukrainian lady in Ukraine or Russia or whatever other country, but all these beauty routines and things are a lot more expensive in US, for example. So you have to consider having a budget so she can support her beauty. She can go to a salon sometimes, she can go work out or go to some kind of class, aerobics, I don't know, whatever she likes doing. Then she can go sometimes shopping, do some skincare, what else, spa, massages. Yes, I understand that it depends on the family, but I just wanted to know it's important, and your attitude about it is important, because you may even have sometimes when it's corona, everything is closed, but when you tell her that she's beautiful, when you do have a little bit of a budget, so she can go and do her nails, even she can even get the supplies and do it herself. In nowadays, with all the skincare, you can buy and obtain a lot of powerful, beautiful skincare things. You can do at home. If it's a lockdown, she can still do her beauty. She can shop online. It's all about her mood. If you ever make her feel guilty for your dresses are too expensive, or your your skincare, I can't afford it. She, if she is a good natured person, she probably will just say, whatever, I'm not that young anymore, or I'm not this anymore, and she may actually stop. You should consider encouraging her and telling her how much you love when she, dresses up and dolls her, up. When she is dolled up and beautiful, how much you love it and appreciate it, and kind of make an environment so she have time and finances to do it, right? Because if she has young children, it's a lot harder, and sometimes her beauty routine could be if you can take the children to the park and let her take in a nap. I cannot tell you enough how much the vibrance and inner shine and inner glow of a woman depends on her sleep, and she'll be able to rest. As women, we are a lot more sensitive, especially after we become a mother. We can hear, the fly in the air. So if you make time for her to rest and have her care routines, she will be so grateful, and she will maintain her looks. Once again, Ukrainian, Russian, Slavic women taking pride in their looks. We do not do them just to show it to a friend, to a neighbor, or to a husband. Yes, husband or man um, always motivates you. Of course, when you have people around you, it gives you an extra push. But most of Russian, Ukrainian, Slavic girls I know, they always look presentable, even if it's a walk in a park. um, and they just very like basic, basic sport clothes. It will be something fitted, something matching. Yes, they may not have their hair or makeup done, but it will be fresh, clean, and fitted, and it's gonna be going together. It's never gonna be stretched t-shirts and worn out leggings. So it's just, some people say, oh, these are little things. Well, all the big things consist from little things. And one thing that I am really proud of my culture is that I can always spot a Russian or Ukrainian when I go somewhere. And I'm really also proud to say that most of people that I know maintain incredible health, not just appearance, but also health. When I go to see some of my friends in Ann Arbor area, I always have to do triple check before I go, because I know they're gonna be looking tremendous, and this is just their lifestyle. It's not they do something to impress me. Once again, you can be working at home, or you can be working in the office, you can be stay-at-home mom. These ladies are always put together, which you should consider doing too. That's for another conversation, but yes. So I would not worry about that. Oh yeah, after you marry her, she will immediately gain 200 pounds, and she will, stop doing her, stop dressing up feminine, and she will, stop doing her hair, nails, and makeup. No, she will not. She will not, unless she goes through some horrible stress. She has no time to sleep, and she has no budget, and she has no friends, and like you put her in a dark room. Not literally, but even then she will try to do something, so please don't do that. That's another video is coming up about not so happy stories, but they're not, things are not one-sided. Okay, not so happy stories is not necessarily stories about somebody coming for a green card. It could be a story with somebody coming to not such a good situation, right? So we need to always have this trying to look on both sides of the spectrum. Most of the channels that talk about men and women in a very diminishing way are a very one-sided channels. So these are, we just had this whole discussion. I know you guys writing in the chat, but two more points I would like to add to this, kind of following one each other. The point number four, I believe that would be, is um, intimate life, sexuality and sex in marriage, after marriage. A lot of men also afraid that as soon as that happens, that will go downhill, and that is simply not true as well. If you maintain, healthy interest for her, care, you consider taking her out on dates, talking to her. Most important of all, talking to her, you know, talking to each other, having this time. Yes, when you have a newborn, sex does go out of the window for just a bit, but it doesn't have to stay that way. And even after short 2 or 3 months, you can go back to normal. You have to be creative. Sometimes you may have a date on your porch or in your car, in your driveway. I said date, but hey, you can do whatever you want in your own driveway, right? But anyway, it takes creativity from two. And just so you know, men, I feel that men are more driven with sexual emotions at first, or sexual desires. But I want to tell you something, as I always say this, uh, affection, intimacy, and sex is just as important for women as for men. Maybe in a little bit a different aspect. It's important when you take the time. If you take anything from the video, take that time. We don't generally like when you doing everything in a rush and we don't get that attention. This is when women get discouraged because they don't really enjoy it. Women are like a stove. It takes time to heat it up, but once you heat it up, it stays hot for a while. So remember that. It's different when you're just hooking up with somebody. That sex is not that fulfilling for women. But when you are in a long-term relationship, when you keep wanting her, when you keep desiring her, she is glowing and she's thriving. She feels loved. She feels wanted. She actually feels, less need for just spending money or shopping or talking with her friends for hours and hours, because she is fulfilled with that connection with you. So in the beginning, it may take your time to get comfortable with you, but once she is comfortable, that sexual connection is vital to maintain that relationship between two people, because life is full of stress and doubts and difficult situations. But when you are passionate about a woman, and she can feel it, and you fulfill her desires, she feels loved and beautiful about herself. She even feels beautiful if she is a total mess. She feels beautiful within. She feels wanted, desired, adored, and that's, I mentioned that before in some time ago, 300 videos ago, is that women also can feel who you really are through being intimate with you, because there is no, the clothes is basically, the border or the protection. So there is no protection. So the way you treat her, whether you put her desires first, and are you a selfish person, all of that. So in 21st century, one of the pluses that you can actually be intimate with somebody without being judged before marriage. So you can feel if that person not only compatible with you, but who they are. Do they care how you feel? And it just opens up the whole world that you can't even put to words between two people. There is not much needs to be said, but it's also a language. So don't let that language go. I know you're tired, you're stressed. Make the time. If you have grandparents, and this is where it works when you don't have too much difference, age gap with your wife. You probably have parents that are not that old yet. So you can once in a while ask them to watch the kids. So you can go on a date, or maybe you can have somebody else you trust. So you absolutely, if I could tell you one thing as a man, to keep passion between you and your woman when you are married, after you're married, and after you have children, is please make dates. Women drain themselves, and they, when they have children, they just get obsessed about everything being perfect, everything. Oh my gosh, no, I need to get organic milk. No, I need to make this soup from scratch. No, I'm not gonna go to bed till I wash these dishes. I know this because I've been through that. We drain ourselves completely, and then we just can't give, and our sexual desire, it goes downhill, but only because we are tired. So if you want to keep that passion, one of the most important things, guys, I could ever tell you, make a 2 days hotel getaway without the kids. I don't know, grandparents, uncles, aunts, somebody you trust who can watch your kids, even if it's one day, even if it's a couple hours, preferably, a weekend sometimes, even if it's, I don't know, once or twice a month, but please make the date so she will feel like a woman, she'll get sleep, and you will both enjoy your intimate time. But just once again, we need sex just as you do, especially when it's a whole different, especially when you feel like you're going to a whole different world, when it's not like 30 seconds or it's not something like, well, let's do it real quick because I have to go. If you take your time, if you tend to her needs and emotions, you're going to be rewarded. I'm just telling you that. So don't worry about this. It's not true. It's not true that it's only your need. It's more of emotional need of feeling beautiful, wanted, desired, but also connected. That always assures your connection. Okay, you may have some conflicts, but let me tell you, those conflicts are easily resolved. All right, number 5 of this webinar, it's fear of divorce. So men afraid, okay, she'll come here, she'll get what she wants, she'll take half of what I owe you, and she will divorce me. Not a single woman I've ever met married an American man, or every other man for that matter, to get a divorce. You should have be absolutely insane to go for a journey with a desire to finish the journey. You have to be brainwashed, crazy. So please vet ladies that you meet, okay? And stop watching channels that only focused on women who are, divorce motivated. It's unnatural, unusual, and I personally, once again, do not know a single person that told me, because we are women, we share things with each other, okay? We always talk about men and relationships behind the scenes. So trust me, I talked to many, many women. Not a single woman told me, I really got married to this guy in hopes to get a divorce. I could not think of nothing better. No. Another thing is, there is a lot more motivation for international couples to stay together because of all the work they have been done to be together, because of all the obstacles, because of all the time you spend in long distance, because of the hard way that you learn to love. Actually, there are official statistics that international couples have a lot lower divorce rate too. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, it does happen sometimes. And I would say probably about 20 to 30%, which is, which is pretty high, but well, not compared to average one, which is like I think like 50% or 60 or something like that. But every case is individual. You have to understand that no woman is motivated to get married to get a divorce. We do not grow up with lawyers and saying, so you can sue him for this. Listen, no woman alive from Ukraine wants to go to courts and try to get something from her husband. It's stress, it's nightmare. Plus you feel you have nobody on your side. It's the same as being obsessed about death 20 years or 30 years before you will die. If every day you're gonna be sad, oh my god, my life makes no sense because one day I will die. Okay, well, how about you enjoy your life right now, so one day when you will die, you will think about something good, right? So basically, it's somewhat similar, because you don't know. Yes, sometimes you overgrow the relationships. I know, that it happens, and I definitely know the cases of it. Okay, but it really depends on what you want in life. Every single thing has a risk. You drive in a car, it has a risk. You're traveling, it has a risk. You're going to the job, it has a risk, you can lose it. But realizing when you have same goals and same desires, with a person that moved to another country to be with you, it's very unlikely. It's very unlikely. But in case of the worst happens, which happens sometimes, I have another insight for you. Always get together with a good person, because if something happens, you'll be able to talk, to work it out, and you're not going to be going to courts with, I look at people that going for years to courts and suing each other. I'm telling you, as a woman, personally, and knowing my surroundings and girls that I know, none of them wants to be going to the court sessions, because it's extreme stress. You're letting somebody in your space, you're letting somebody investigate you, interrogate you in your. I mean, I've been through some difficult stuff in my relationships. Some of you guys know my story, and part of it, I've never went through any of interrogation process. And I really think it's important to be with a person who have same values. So if the worst would happen, maybe in 5, 10, 15, 20 years, you are with such a good person that realizes that you are not a stranger. You are somebody that you shared life, children, living together. She's not gonna tear you apart, and you are not the kind of guy that knows that, okay, she's here alone, let me hire a lawyer, give her nothing and tear her apart. I think before we even get into relationships, we need to remember just being human. So yes, I telling you that divorce rate is relatively small, but it's life. There is not a single person, that can guarantee you. Anybody can tell you that they can guarantee you something in a relationship is full of something. Nobody can guarantee you anything, but it's up to you to look for quality person. Yes, sometimes people fall in love with somebody else. Sometimes people have addictions. Sometimes people die. Sometimes people overgrow the relationship. Whatever, it's life. It's ever changing, ever changing. It's not a still picture. But when you are with a quality person, you have the highest chances to do things. And that's why, my dear friends, rethink your categories of search. Try to refocus so much from the age and appearance to the qualities of the person. That's what women do. We have this joke about, so who is smarter, men or women? Of course, women. There's not a woman in life, not a woman alive that had married a man because of his body. So try to date a little bit like a woman. Try to see, okay, she's pretty, but if I'm sick and having a fever, would she give me a glass of water? Would she make me some chicken soup? Try to see her a little bit also from the soothing, nurturing, comfort perspective, and see if she's, nurturing. Because trust me, beauty is something that can be gone tomorrow, something you can get used to real quick, and it can be very cold. It may not keep you warm at night. If she's beautiful but she's cold to you, she doesn't want you, that can lead to this 0.5 that I just mentioned. So, my dear friends, thank you so much for joining this premiere video, for watching with me. I am inspired to create and share things with you. I hope that I addressed most 5 fears of men, of American men marrying Russian women, Ukrainian women, or any other foreign feminine women, even local women. Men who has mentality of abundance are not scared of women. I'm gonna say this again. Men who has mentality of abundance, that are achieving things in life, they are not scared of women. Everybody was making fun of Jeff Bezos, that he had to pay 35 million or billion or whatever that was. Well, guess what? He never complained about it. He already made twice of what he lost. So when you are on your mission, on your journey as a man, you have maybe several streams of income. You understand the responsibility. You get the cost to be the boss. Okay, you are not scared. If you don't want to have something, I understand. If you're not capable, I understand. But if you're capable, but people, media talks you into fear, they devalue things that you want, think about it. Play the worst case scenario and tell, I can take care of it. You can take care of it. If you really want it, don't let anybody talk you out of it, especially if they never had an experience. Be very careful with watching negative channels, because they will program you, and that is going to be your experience. Fears are fears for a reason. It's false evidence appeared real. False evidence appeared real, but it's not real. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. I appreciate your comments, your support. If you could comment under the video and tell me your thoughts, maybe your concern about particular fear you got, or how you overcome a fear, or your experiences, please do so under the comments. If you'd like to connect with me, join one of my platforms. Do that. By the way, for those who are on my Patreon, I'm gonna sneak on some of my friends from Russian community that have been living here for 10, 15, or even 20 years. And I'm gonna post some of their pictures. Pictures are public on Facebook or Instagram. I won't post them here on YouTube, but I will post them at Patreon, and you will see how these ladies taking care of themselves, looking feminine, beautiful. They taking care of their kids, and no, they did not become feminist, ugly, unattractive, um, or uninterested in their man. After, I would say, I would post ladies from 10 to 15 years to 20 years that have been here, and I personally applaud them. I mean, it's unbelievable, that passion and striving to always be presentable, always be on top of things, and take pride in their beauty. So, with that being said, my dear friends, thank you so much for watching. I'm waiting to hear your feedback. Do you like this kind of videos? Do you have your story to share? Would you like to become behind the scenes one of our Patreon supporters, so you can see some more precise things and be a member of our off YouTube live Zoom calls that we do every month. So with that being said, guys, thank you. Write me an email, comment below. It's so nice to hear from you, and thank you for everybody who commented in the chat. I appreciate you all, and I will see you soon.